that's a triple play. New episodes, I couldn't wait. Yeah, open your mind at the first gate. Press play, no need to debate. AOA, check me out. Look, clocked in, you can catch the hype. Golden Dawn, how we follow the light. Anime like life, married to it, my wife.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages? Welcome back to the AOA show. I'm your host, as always, Ian, along with the boys Isaiah.
Oh, hi, yo.
And Gavin.
What is Gucci shoes?
And today we're hitting you with some more blog posts courtesy of the mods in our Discord and for our YouTube channel. Thank you. We love you all. Today, Season 3 is upon us.
Ooh.
If you have not caught our live stream yet, I highly recommend you do so, kicking off the premiere of Season 3, at least in our eyes. We went through chapters or episodes 1 through 9. Pretty long stream, about 4 hours, but a lot of laughs, a lot of ridiculous moments, and a lot of hype behind it as well. Saw some faces again, saw some new faces. There was a lot going on, so you definitely want to go check that out, and the only way that you can do that is by subscribing to the AOA Reacts channel, where you can catch all of our live reactions. The link is in the description down below, so definitely go check that out, and then swing right on back here and check out these blog posts. So, obviously, since we covered episodes 1 through 9, that's what we will be covering today in our blog post. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Today we are starting with Season 3, Chapter 1. What do we got here? All right. So, it's been a while, y'all. This is SIU. I'm back from a break of sorts. I guess even during the hiatus, I constantly worked. I forgot about February was so short, but I had time to make a couple of chapters. Even though my pockets got lighter, I thought I could get used to this during that time. I debated whether I should come back as Season 2 or Season 3. Originally, Season 2 was going to be really long, but a lot of reasons and advice pointed me to making this Season 3. Well, we'll see higher, more influential people in Season 3. As I end every hiatus, I feel pressured as time goes on. What kind of content do I bring back? What kind of narrative do I show? I think my conclusion is that, unlike many long-term works, I wanted to tell a story that is prepared from the beginning. Slow and not too sensational, but more natural. And fun every once in a while. Just like how Bam is facing this great tower and enemies. I wanted to give it a natural progression. And if it doesn't work out, I can always just get Bam to cross-dress for a bit and watch the views jump. Wow, amazing. I wonder if that would actually work. If you did it with the Coon,
sure it would.
Then you really would make it work. This week's chapter had a lot of front-loaded content from the very beginning. But honestly, considering the last arc kind of getting wrapped up in a hurry compared to its size, I wanted to organize the story by showing it from many perspectives before starting. As a result, it got big, but some of that will be continued on in later arcs, so I hope you enjoy them. Oh, why, thank you. I'm uploading again. This time around, I can feel that I am looking at my work from a wider angle. I hope you join me on a new journey with a more relaxed and light heart. Letting go of what was on our shoulders for a few years would help us start anew. Don't take yourself too seriously, and let's go. I was thinking about stopping the afterwards, but it's been around so long, and I have good memories of it, so I decided to keep it. In the last shot, we have longer-haired Bam. I think we'll keep this length for a bit. Of course, if you guys don't like it, I'll cut it off.
No, it's good.
We like it.
It's good. Leave
Very
it.
good.
Don't fucking touch it.
All right.
TN Enter Guru. Ding Ding's name is Enter Guru.
Yeah, no, you had it. It was just funny.
Ding Ding's name probably comes from a Korean slang word for puppy/dog. Deng Deng Hee. It's a pretty recent slang. FYI, poopsie reggie.
That's not poop.
No, I wanted to. I had to. But just
see what we want to see.
Pussy Reggie, translated as Rugrats, is also a pretty recent slang for small animals/children. Looks like SIU knows his internet slang. Okay. Winky face. Of course he does.
He's a cool dad. He's hip with the kids.
He's the cool dad.
He's on the interwebs.
He's a cool dad.
Oh, that's funny.
This is a great picture. Let's kick off episode 2. We got Rek sitting on Coon while he's light. No, it looks like he's awake.
I think
because he's
awake.
pissed
He's
about
just
it.
like
Yeah.
laying in the same position that he would be.
I love it.
Amazing.
Oh, man. This picture for this week is Coon getting laid on while he's sleeping. Oh, okay, sleeping. It's only been 2 weeks since I'm out of hiatus, but it feels like it's been months. Well, it's probably because I started work before I came back from hiatus, and also a lot of people responded and welcomed me back since the hiatus took a long time. It felt like conversation should have been spread out over the past few months, but condensed into a 1 week. I'm really thankful, though. I'm not sure I would be able to meet your expectations, but even after such a long hiatus, there's a lot of people welcoming me back. I think it is something that I should be thankful for as an author. Thanks to everyone who commented that I am coming back, about mistakes that I made, and also about what I could do better on. These guys back a little bit because Rek's spear and Coon's head are getting a little bit in the way. All right. This week, Bomb has become cooler. I think yes. I wondered a lot about this part. Maybe it would be too much to go back to early Viol's personality, so I thought it would be nice to make Bomb feel like a stronger character. I thought it would be better to have gaps in between that and his cold side. Of course, internally, Bomb has a lot of kindness in his mind, so I don't want to change that kind of essential characteristic. Anyways, Bomb was able to recognize the enemy and fight them with more hostility. He can make the orb that big without the thorn. Oh, he didn't even use the thorn this whole time. That's crazy. So I think his skills got upgraded. Yeah, they did. Starting this chapter, I wondered a lot about how to quickly resolve many characters' stories. Coon's story, which would be coming out next week, would also be one of the many stories. Will Coon wake up after half a year of sleep? Yep. To be honest, I'm working outside, quite far away from my house. Since I didn't rest during hiatus, I have more time now. I didn't rest. Okay. I have more time now. I'm glad I'm able to get some fresh air outside. I think this is one of the perks for this job, though I also wonder if I should be thankful for being unable to go out during weekends. Anyways, I can see the night sky very well. I will get a good spirit from it and draw. That's a good one. And I think there is a big distinction between, which he highlights here about just because Bomb is a little more hardened per se, and maybe hardened's not even the right word, but a little more mature, I think is the better word, doesn't necessarily mean that he has to be black and white, right? He has to be like short-haired, like, naive Bomb, versus Viol, where it's like total in darkness, this whole thing. I think Bomb has come more in tune with his dark side, with his shadow side, and he's able to incorporate that when needed in order to inject this air of confidence and bravery when he needs to, which he never lacked per se, but just kind of speaking his mind and doing things in the way that he sees fit, and knowing what is right, and just having just more of this confident air about him, right? Just the way he carries himself and how he talks and all that kind of stuff. He's confident in himself, so I think it's a cool change. Just wanted to highlight that, but for sure.
Agree. All right, chapter 3. It's kind of weird to have a small chapter numbers when it was in the hundreds in season 2. This had a lot of things going on compared to the previous chapters. Anyways, it's been 3 weeks since I came back, and my right arm is beginning to fall out. Oh no, come back. And since a lot of people welcome me back, I think I'm going to continue the story in a calm mood for a while. Having a consistent mindset is never easy, but it's required for long webtoons. Anyway, this chapter was long, super long. One of the main things that I was worried about while making the save versions was how long this chapter should have been. Of course, the previous chapters were long, but weren't as long as this. How long should waking Coon up take? Took way too long, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
Waking him up after one chapter, or write a lot of things between and make something really detailed, or simply focus on one thing. Anyways, personally, I like this kind of chapter structure, but in a long-running arc, this kind of structure takes longer to prepare, and if it gets too long, it's tiring. So I felt like trying this during hiatus and did it this way this week. Well, it wasn't something amazing, and there was a lot of excluded content. Personally, I achieved the goal of waking Coon up in one chapter. I hope you enjoy reading this episode. It took a long time to draw though. Well, since he woke up, he may as well start working. At the last part, the mystery snake guy who attacked Yeon Yiwa appeared. I hope you keep reading to see how the chapters will go on. The thing that I am thinking about these days is that I'm not special, but somehow I've been serializing my work for so long. I'm really lucky. So I think it's better to keep my place than to be ambitious about it. I hope you get excited get excited with the next chapter of Tower of God. Yeah, I definitely feel like the whole let's wake Coon thing up could have been done like maybe a chapter sooner, but that's just me.
Hot take. I actually wasn't a fan of like how that was really done at all. I thought like it was kind of weirdly like, okay, we got to wake him up now, so like let's force this narrative, and it like just seemed like really weird the way it went together. And then also it was like in that one chapter, being that it was so long in it, it was like
it seemed like
it was
it
weird.
seemed like he wanted like more build up to it than like it needed, because like I could have easily seen that chapter opening up with like them like that whole like you could have even included that in canon with the whole pig whatever else stuff.
Sure.
But like the chapter could have opened with them coming back with the hammer. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, we did like, and you could have mentioned all that shit in like a flashback or whatever, but like the fact that we had to like go through it just felt like dragging. It was like, oh, all right. It would have been one thing if like those broke out into like serious fights, or one of them like stays as like a semi-serious character, but it's like, it all kind of felt like this gag that like was there because he was like, oh, I want there to be more build up to like the moment where he wakes up, but it didn't need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like this weird split between, you know, because I'm sure he would have got flack if it was totally opposite. Not that's what you're saying, but I'm just saying in general, where it's like if he had just revived with nothing, right? It's just like, okay, Coon's back, right? And people would have been like, well, how'd that happen?
Sure.
But then on the same, you know, so like, but then at this, so he's like, okay, I got to incorporate the way they go about this. But then it just seemed weird because the way for me they went about it was like just seemed really shoehorned. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like with
that's
everything.
right. Yeah,
so
yeah.
just like the whole thing, the way they woke him up was just like, it seemed like it was like, we really need to wake up Coon now. So like, what do we need to do that? But also, I don't want to wake him up immediately because then it's going to be like, you know, so I need a backstory. But then the backstory just like weirdly fell
and
flat.
I don't even have. I mean, I do have a problem with the backstory. It's kind of ass, but the like, it's not. Again, it's just the fact that like we had to read a whole chapter of it. Like we had to go through it. And it, I don't really give a fuck about the pig dude or what he's got going on. Like, you know, Rough Beats, this is the tower. I don't even remember the names of the other dudes that are fighting with the pig people.
Yeah.
And Yoon or Woon Yeon just kind of seemed like a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, all of it was just like,
well, that was the interesting part is he was asleep for so long. Like, think how many chapters Coon's been out, and like the whole goal was like, oh, we just need to take him to this guy so he can wake them up. Like, I don't really see a problem in him waking up so instantly, because that was like literally the whole point of the plan was to take him to said guy to then wake him up. Like, you know, if you wanted to add a little bit of a problem to where like, oh, maybe he couldn't like use that much power like to do it unless he does XYZ things. Like, you know, I guess he runs into
the problem that it's like, yeah, sure, he just needs to go to this guy to wake him up, but then it's like, okay, where are the stakes, right? It's just like, okay, we got there and it's done. So like, I think for me, the length necessarily wasn't too much of the bigger deal, so much as the contents within it, right? And that's what made it for me feel that much more dragged out, because I was like not enchanted with it personally. You know, because like I could see that there needs to be work, you know what I mean, to get him out of it, because it'd be kind of silly. It's like, why even put him in the coma in the first place if you just, you know what I mean? But I feel like the way they got him out of it for me was like,
I think it would go with the character who would wake him up, because I mean, for me it wouldn't be anticlimactic, because that was the plan from the get-go. Get him to X guy and he has the ability to wake him up. Like, for me, it's like, there's nothing anticlimactic if you're doing what you say to do it. And like, essentially that's what he did, except it was a weird way where, oh, he didn't have all of his power in this instant, he needs to get it back. And it's like, I feel like that could have been tampered with, but I wouldn't have found it anticlimactic, because that's literally what was said that was going to happen. But either way, you know, it is what it is. Already set in stone, so we will go.
he's done with your shit.
Chapter 4, we got the Yama Man himself. Sundays around once more. It's a Monday webtoon, but it feels like it's a Saturday webtoon these days.
Sunday.
And I think I get more. Oh, what'd I say? Oh, Sunday webtoon these days. I think I get more views Sunday than Monday. I speculate.
I just picture him going like,
what are the YouTube analytics? Actually, Monday webtoons usually get uploaded in advance on Friday, but sometimes I make changes over the weekend and update it. Some of my colleagues and I argue over this because while it improves this chapter, it hurts the next one. And basically, this kills the free time. I lost the debate. Now that previews exist, all that's moot, though.
What's that meme of the hardcore pawn shop dude or whatever? And the one guy's like yelling at him, and the other guy's like screaming and shit. Is like, you know that
Chum-Li and all them?
No, it's like hardcore pawn, and it's like these guys that are supposed to be like badass or whatever. whatever. The one guy's just
no,
screaming.
Wait, this is a show or
It was a show, but there's a meme that's created from it, and it's like the guy's like fucking scream. It's like this wild argument, but they always put like ridiculous arguments in the meme to make it funny, and like just what I pictured.
Oh,
God damn! I brought up like 5 memes today, and not one of you got like one of them. And I'm like, bro, I'm not even on the internet that much.
Pawn.
I feel like you
I
go
think
to
it was
like this
hardcore.
weird corner of the internet.
No, that one's like so common.
Wait, is it the one he's like pointing?
Yeah,
no,
where he's, like,
that's not a
pointing.
pawn shop. That's Orange County Chopper, I believe. It's a motorcycle show. You're talking about it's like a guy with a beard, a gray beard, and then there's another guy.
but I could have swore that was a hardcore punch out. Okay, you could be right.
No, I know. I've actually used to watch that
right,
show.
whatever.
Yeah,
At
it's
least you got
hilarious.
the meme. Thank
I
God.
got you. No, yeah, I got you. It took a second.
Sounds like take the W, right?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I got it. All right. Where was I? Advance.
I think you
Okay. Oh, I
finished
said.
this,
Oh,
Yeah, you finished it better.
I like how it's literally he's having arguments with his colleagues. They're probably like, "Please, SIU, can I have a weekend to like go see my family or have fun?" And he's like, "No, we're doing it." And they're like, "Please, SIU, please." And he's like, "No, I
don't think it was that.
It's not. It's not. It's
I
not.
actually think if anything, they're like, "Yo,
Yeah.
can we get like a panel in? Like, we'll do some
Yeah.
work." He's like, "No, I'll do it myself."
I know. I just wanted to make it seem like he was like, no. It's okay.
He pays his assistants to just stand there
yeah,
back
yeah.
as he draws it.
There's three
Grapes.
downstairs. It's like, okay, that's cool. Can I work though? you good? You need help?
So the Snake Man got beat up a lot. He's meant to get beaten up. Don't worry. If you wanted him to have a fair fight with Bam, I'm sorry. But if there's any C-class regular that can stand up to Bam right now, it'll be against the lore. So Bam gets to be OP a while. A chip on his shoulder. It looks like Snake Man's real core is his boss. How it will behave, do watch out. On Coon's side, it looks like he needs cold meds. Oh, it looks like he needs cold meds. He's seeing things. And lastly, we have a new Slayer. We haven't seen much of him yet, but he looks buff. I should work out now that it's summer. I've been working out during the hiatus, but not currently.
Consistency is key. Come on, SIU.
Since the previous fights were so big, the demand for Slayers has been pretty low, but Yama is older than Kuraka, so he's stronger, has more forces, and cash. It's only the beginning, so be on the lookout for what kind of person Baylord Yama the Slayer is. Oh, wee, wee, wee. Oh, croissant.
All right, episode 5.
Oh.
It's just sounded you were just like, oh.
Oh, no.
No, I know. It was just funny, though. That's what you did. Okay. I was taking a walk outdoors and saw a lot of cherry blossoms. Spring approached like this once again. I think the good weather for going outdoors is approaching, even though I don't go outside a lot. I really like this kind of weather. I hope you readers can also enjoy this weather. This week, I will put aside Yama's story, which is going to be the main plot, for a bit and focus on Bomb sneaking into where Deng Deng is at. As background goes, Mad Dog appeared again after a long time. Because Mad Dog was introduced as a strong character in the workshop battle, I thought it would be good to give Varagov, whatever, and Bomb a match. Even though Varagov has the blood Tamara and is really strong among the regulars, Bomb is, he had battles in the mountains, sea, sky, and even space. I would be thankful if you wait for their battle a bit. And also, you don't have a choice. You're waiting. I was planning to speed up the story. I think this chapter's speed of development could look different depending on how you look at it. If you look at it from Bomb's perspective as a regular, I think this is pretty fast. But if you look at it from the perspective of characters that appeared in the last station, I think it might not be that fast. I was already thinking about this problem since the last episode. I am aware of it and trying to make the story flow. Though I think it'd be best if you set your perspective with Bomb and his companions. Well, with any story, if you enjoy it slowly, then after that will be the time where the plot catches fire. I think if you go through these little stories and wait for important parts, it'll be fun. Deng Deng appeared at the last panel. I don't think his appearance matched his title as the most powerful Rugrat. Certainly did not. Anyways, he looks very cute. No, he doesn't. I would be thankful if you wait and look forward to what will happen next chapter. I hope you have a nice week along these cherry blossoms. Thank you to all. I could go through this spring while still publishing Tower of God.
I saw somebody posted in our Discord about the whole Baragov thing, because like, wow, this dude got an item on the workshop battle, and like he just thought this would take him up all the way to the top of the tower. It's crazy. Like, you gotta work, dog. And I'm like, yeah, he deadass did that, bro. He just grabbed that and was like, I'm good. I'm fine. Nothing will stop me. It's like, this is blood smear. Paradox. Like, what else do I need? It's like training, nigga. Like,
That is funny.
I don't know, my boy Deng Deng going through the ringer with Ian there.
Yeah, whatever.
It's pretty cute.
I think he's cute.
Yeah, me too.
To each their own.
He's like, if they don't have six pack,
Because
it's
he's
not
so
cute.
damn attractive.
Listen, just saying.
Wild.
Everyone has their own tastes.
What is this? Chapter
6.
6? Chapter 6. The image of this week's afterwards is the Mad Dog and Bam. Bam not only increased his hair length, but also his bravado. Actually, in the workshop battles, they were briefly set up as rivals. Putting them together like this for the first time in a while reminds me of the old days. Pretty fun. Except Bam slapped his
Yeah,
Philly
it,
this
just, it
time.
didn't really seem no rivalry.
Before it was like, oh, how are we going to beat him? Now it's like, next. This week's chapter continues the Deng Deng rescue arc. Since this is something we need to complete before we can get to the Yama story, I struggled. I'm directing the layout for the big main battle, but the story that is set up is not easy to come up with. Nothing is easy. I guess that's why I still have a hard time when I'm making a manuscript. Anyway, this rescue, I want it to be big and bold. So it seems like Mad Dog's fight got a bit of weight and everything else got skipped. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Bam's new skills were performed with the thorn. So
Without.
Oh, my bad. Without the thorn. So it may look like they're on a weaker scale compared to the previous chapters. But unlike the previous training, this isn't a new power-up, but more so a skill/physical development of Bam's personal capabilities. If he used the thorn here or used the revolution to bring out his inner powers, it'd be stronger. But I want to show Bam's improved basic skills and techniques for a while. I hope you look forward to the Mad Dog fight next week.
Fucking Paracule, dude. Revolution.
Always. It's been 2 weeks since I'm back. In reflection, there are some things that I felt I fell short on, and I regret that I've let down all the hype you, my beloved readers, had. But if you guys could tell me constructively how to improve on the points I'm lacking on and continue to cheer me on when it's fun, it'd be great to continue working together week by week.
That's sugar-coated way of saying you guys are being real assholes right now.
Yeah.
Because I guess people have not been digging this arc when it came out based off the,
He's like,
the language
I
there.
read the comments. I'm not happy with the way you guys word things. All right, relax. We're all human.
Dude, for real.
Damn. All right, chapter 7. All right. This week's sketch is Yama contemplating blowing up a ship. A high ranker can blow up a ship no problem. But when you think of who's on board Karaka Madarako, it'd be hard for someone not Yama's tier, though. Oh, it would be hard for someone, not Yama's tier. Gotcha. This week we have more of Deng Deng's escape continuing from last week. We have Bam outright beat the Mad Dog. Actually, Varagov could be considered one of the strongest C-tier regulars. But even for him, Bam's grown way too powerful. We also have a new technique for Bam. It's not a new piercing technique, but rather a version technique. But rather a version of the basic piercing technique performed in the state of 0. It's weaker than floral butterfly piercing technique, but it's the version closer to consolidating his basics. Bam was taught all of these powerful techniques by force before, but now he's learning from 0, step by step, but swiftly from the 0 up. The regular from the Ha family this time is basically someone who cleared all the floors and had earned the right to become a ranker, but refused to become a ranker. So it's really iffy to call him a regular. It's like getting into medical school with top grades, but you suddenly decided you don't want to be a doctor.
When you put it like that, that guy just seems really stupid. Like, I don't get it.
What guy? Oh, his teacher?
Yeah, I'm
That
just
or there's a
messing
reason
around.
you didn't want to be
No,
like a
I
part
know.
of
I'm
it.
just playing games.
Or getting through law school, getting through law school, public servant license, or international relations exam to become a public worker, and suddenly choosing to become unemployed despite even having experience. I wouldn't know why they would want to live like that. It is true that he is weaker than those who taught Bam in the past, Tien, Yu Han Sung, Ha Jin Sung, God of Guardians, Data Idan, and Evenkel, but Evenkel introduced him for a reason, you can infer. Probably because he trained to the fullest as a regular, that she thought Bam had much to learn from him.
And dude, just looking at that sentence, like, Bam has a pretty stacked list of fucking dope teachers, bro. He's got Yu Han Sung, Jin Sung Ha, Yvonne Kel, who else? Edon and Yvonne Kel, and they got like, those aren't nobody. Like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, he's gone through some school. On the scene where Bam and Kun met, I thought about how happy I should make them look. Bam and Kun are both very happy, but they already talked over the phone, and there's still a lot that needs to be talked over. And due to how Kun's personality is, he's going to take those things without missing them. Above all else, from Kun's perspective, since he's seeing Bam working with Fug again, which he never liked, it may be hard for him to show his full joy. It may be pointless, but that gave me a bit of trouble during editing. Kun talking about Bam's hair is in a similar vein as well. Interesting stuff.
They talked on the phone before this. Can I get a manuscript of that phone call?
Now that I write it down, I think that I'm thinking about all sorts of petty stuff. But still, this is a webtoon a lot of you read, and I want to make sure as many people as possible can understand and have fun. No matter how much I try, I still have many shortcomings. I should work harder. At the end of this week, we suddenly hear that Bam may fight Yama. Did studying under Evenkel finally make him a fighter? Of course, knowing Bam's personality, it would be out of character for him to just hand Dang Dang over. Very, very true, SIU.
Yeah, you know.
You know.
All right, episode 8, the stare down. Yama's definitely even bigger than that. That dude was ginormous.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Cool picture, though. I decided to draw Bomb facing off with Yama, in line with what happened today. They actually have a large height difference. Bomb would not be small if he was in Korea IRL, but Yama is monstrously huge. Lore-wise, he is 270 centimeters, so 8 feet and 10 inches. Wow. All right. But if I draw him that big all the time, perspective and such becomes difficult to deal with, so I adjust for the panels. Oh, okay, interesting. Lore is lore. I think the art direction is more important, personally.
That's probably the same thing. Like, oh, why is he so small?
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, I'm glad that there's some clarification. This chapter, we got why I said why. Oh, okay. That's weird. All right, this chapter, we got why I said why. Bomb and Yama might fight. There's the conversation between Bomb and Kun. Right now, Bomb is in Fug to avenge his teacher, but if Bomb had to pick the one organization he hates the most, that would be Fug. Bomb doesn't have a love-hate relationship with Fug. It's just pure hate. In the situation where he is forced to join hands with such an organization, you can see him try to stay true to himself. Yurik once said to Bomb, "Don't change." And I think that reflects Yurik's character in a lot of ways. He experienced many things as he came into the tower and met many people, but he's still trying to escape the tower. In some ways, he's the most faithful to his original reasons for entering the tower. But to be fair, it might be entirely because he was in another class when he came in. In the conversation between Yama and Bomb, I tried to keep the tension up a little. Yama is a human, but more like a wild beast. Less of a fighting dog raised by someone, but a real wild dog raised in the wild like a great beast. If Bomb's lines sounded like they were teething the line, that's good. Whether Bomb did that today, whether what Bomb did today, will help save Jin Sung, I don't know. But let's look forward to seeing Bomb acting like himself as he moves forward. That's what makes everything fun. Even though it's not summer, we already have watermelons at the mart. Great. It's my favorite fruit. I love watermelon juice too. I survived summer on watermelon alone. Watermelon salad, watermelon juice, watermelon shaved ice, watermelon slice, watermelon, and a spoon watermelon.
Okay.
Recently, I've had some difficulties in personal life, but when those come up, to keep myself sane as I work, I tend to be drawn to sweet things. So that's why I'm getting fat again, I think. Poor guy. You should be as well as what you eat. I wonder if I'm well. I'll hold on to my mental health and keep working at it.
Damn.
I don't even know what to say to that.
It's rough. All right. Chapter 9.
Cool pick.
This week's picture is Ark Young, aka Ghost, who had made a surprising return. It was set that Ark Young would return at some point after Season 1, but I hadn't chosen the exact time. When Season 3 started, I thought that now would be good timing, and good for the story down the line, so Ark Young joined the main story. This chapter, we have Bomb making a bold game proposal to Yama. Tower of God has a lot of genes mixed in, but overall, it revolves around progressing the plot as we go through various games. I think it's something like that differentiates it from other fantasy or shonen manga/manhwa, and the tower itself revolves around tests and games constantly. So it may be natural to have these sorts of games or bets. Well, Bomb and Yama's game seemed rather unbalanced. About Kanzan and Yama's underlings, the concept of a group who enjoyed fighting and showing off their strength. So at first, I was going to make them feel like pro wrestlers, but I thought that'd be overboard or too cliche. So I toned it down a little and just made them minions who work out a lot. Whether it's the entire race or just their ability, they are specialized for fighting. But since that's a select group without any outsiders coming in, their talent pool is small. To have an exclusive faction with this many rankers is actually an incredible thing. Lastly, we have Bomb and Ark Young, and Kun, who met allies that betrayed him for the first time in a while. These days, the weather is becoming a lot warmer, and whether it's because of the warming air or something else, I've been having lots of thoughts about this or that, doing a lot of hard thinking. Since I'm a pretty sensitive person, sometimes a lot of things can be very complicated and hard to understand. Sometimes you just need to simplify and take it in slowly. I sincerely hope that everything brings you happiness and joy, even if you're overthinking it. There's not much more to it. P.S. I ate 3 watermelons in 2 weeks. I think I'm addicted at this point.
Oh my god.
And the mods who worked on this week's blog post, Nathan, Sari, and Nicholas. Thank you all
Much
for your hard
appreciated.
work.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for our blog post read through today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you are dropping a like on this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that bell if you are new here, and commenting your thoughts down below. What did you think of our read through, these chapters, the blog posts, anything? Let us know in the comments down below. We actually have our comment of the day as well from our last blog post video, which comes to us today from Ghost Emblem, which seems like a new face here, so thank you very much. Question was, what does Jin Sung Ha switch to from cigarettes? The answer was lollipop, which they answered correctly. Ghost says, have you guys still not read the top 15 rankings? I read them on the wiki, but I thought they were from the blog posts. It was definitely around before season 3. We have not, and I've heard this a couple times actually, or rather read it in comments. It's something that I'd be interested in doing. I feel like we're so close to the end of, not the end, but at least catching up to the story at this point. Not that we would spoil anything particularly for ourselves, but it definitely makes for some, other content. So whether we want to do that sooner or later, we'll definitely get around to it at some point. I'm assuming after we catch up to the story, because that'll just crack open, Pandora's box for all the different types of content that we can do. So definitely stay tuned, and thank you for commenting. This week's question: what are the 3 different types of dog human people that the guy explains to Shibisu and Hats? So he says there are 3 different types of beings that will participate in the tournament. There's the humanoid ones, and then the ones that are, I don't know their names specifically, but that's your job. The half dog ones, and then the full dog ones, but they had specific names. So let us know the 3 names of those different types of folks in the comment down below, and then comment whatever you want. You might just get it read in our next blog post discussion. Beyond that, big shout out to our patrons, especially to our acolytes of anime, Stoic and Nathan. Love your beautiful faces and your support that you give this channel. And definitely go check out the AOA Reacts channel. Link is in the description down below, so y'all can check out that live stream if you haven't already. But that was a trick question, because you should have already done that. But if you didn't, this is your last chance to do it.
But if you didn't, this isn't a trick question. Then you pass.
But this one is not a trick. So if you didn't take me seriously the first time, take me seriously now. No, all jokes aside, though, folks, it's been fun. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We will catch you all on the flip. Peace.
Peace.
Ninjas are samurais, blazing the kunais. Find me in the leaf of the cloud, screaming out Bankai. We just some ghouls though, who like seeing parts fly. They like what you saying, Goma got more through the storylines. I tested your neck from the start, my hunters gon' come for your heart. I promise you'll land in my boulevard, left them in one piece, no